Hey there, my name is Kendall Jamal Bissett. I'm a mental health and wellness consultant with Wellness and Learning initiatives under the Gardening Care Suite of Services. If you joined us before, we've been having a conversation around grief, mourning, the types of losses that we experience, and today we're going to be speaking directly to the grieving cycle, or what to expect when we're moving through grief, transition, or change. And we're going to speak into why this is helpful to know, what each stage can look, sound, and feel like. And so we understand the grieving cycle to be a space in which it gives us context on what can be a typical emotional response as we move through any of these experiences of change, grief, transitions. And so acceptance is always the end goal. And this is a 5-stage model that was developed from Swiss-American psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who used this to work with nursing students who were working with palliative clients, so clients that were facing death. And so what they noted through that, through these learnings is that what is typical is, yes, acceptance is always the end goal to arrive at for these folks, to kind of give them peace. But during that time, they will also go through a number of emotional responses that can ebb and flow and that are non-sequential. And so we have this awareness so that we can give ourselves some self-compassion and grace so that we can actually be in our experiences and actually grieve. And so it can start with looking like denial and shock. So trying to make sense of the experience. It can move, then we can shift into our anger where we're moving past the denial and shock. It's almost like these act like different levels of filters that they pass through. So as you might have been in your denial and shock, you can move to anger when you understand that this is actually a loss that I'm having to really process. And that can bring up emotions of anger, fear underneath that, right? What is also typical, you can move into your bargaining. So this is the time when we're looking at the should-haves. If only I, if only you. Again, trying to make sense of this experience and hold on to, in this space, you're sort of 1 foot in the past and still trying to, maybe think about stepping forward, but being unsure. And then after the bargaining, or through the bargaining, you can also land in your sadness. And so this is when you're starting to understand that bargaining is not going to help. Perhaps the anger isn't being helpful right now. And so it becomes, it's that moment of circling around the drain and something collecting and it finally dropping. This is the reality of the situation I'm in. Whether I like it or not, this is what it is. And so that is slowly moving towards acceptance, is that acknowledging what it is, where you are, and accepting that. So acknowledgement is not necessarily approval. Acknowledgement is saying that I'm aware of what is happening or what has happened, where I am, I've located myself right now, and what I need to move forward. And acceptance is the way to move forward, right? So we give ourselves, the reason why I'm bringing this in is just to give us some context in terms of what we can experience. And, grieving is not a linear or straightforward process. So sometimes we will have to circle around the drain for something to finally drop for us, something to collect and then drop so we can make sense of that. So please, I invite you to allow yourself or create this soft place for you to land with these experiences. We will experience change. We will experience loss. We will experience transitions. We have and we always will. So let's prepare ourselves, right? And it's not an experience which we have to